So with this drive to try and push out a bit more content, we're going to change things up a bit through the year, add a few pieces that we think might be of interest to a lot of people. So stand by for a bit of maneuvering. There'll be a few different things on the platform, which is pretty cool, broadening the horizons of it and trying to sort of grow the scope. And also for us to learn. The whole thing last year was a massive learning process for us, so we certainly don't want to lose that. And so looking forward to doing a few more things, challenging ourselves, and getting a few more videos out on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, check it out, it's worth it, you'll enjoy it, and pass it on please to your friends and family. It'll mean a lot to us, and it goes a long way to supporting us and supporting the platform. So I've come in bright and early this morning to show you all our studio and our facility where we're based here. And as per usual, the host is here first and has to set everything up before the rest of the crew arrive. I've been getting a lot of sort of questions about the podcast and the equipment we use, software, the studio, and I thought it'd be a good time to tell everyone how we do it or how we started. You mentioned before the show, Brett, when we were planning here, it's not just about where we are now, it's about what we started with and the progression to basically get to what we're using today. Basically, we started in an office with some sort of Zoom microphones, you could call it. What do we have? A Samsung Go mic and very, very basic setup. And then as you go, you realize, the sound is quite important and the lighting's quite important, and you have to start somewhere. Obviously, with a podcast, the sound is critical. So microphones are the obvious first purchase. I'm using a Audio Technica 2100 USB. So this is about 2 years old now. Ryan, you've got the slightly later one.
Yeah, I've got the Audio Technica ATR 2100 USB-C, which I ordered middle of last year via Amazon. It was a good offer, good product. I mean, it came as a package deal with the boom, the pop filter, the microphone. Works very well. It made a big improvement to the quality.
And that pop filter works. I mean, you actually need it. If you have it off, you can hear those P's and B's.
Yeah.
So it stops that noise.
That was one of the things that I considered when I bought this one, because I went for the Blue Yeti.
Well, funny enough, that seems less affected by that
it doesn't pick up the popping at all. This one, the reason why I bought this, when we started, you said we were in an office. We were literally in an office. We had a whiteboard. We wrote hashtags, Bryan Air Podcast, Support Aviation on the whiteboard in horrible handwriting. I don't even know who wrote that. It wasn't me.
I think it was me.
Probably. And we had people walking past. We had reception noise. We had
to tell everyone to shut up
just before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you talk about the progression. That has been the fun thing. We moved from there, and we managed to get another little office, and we kind of put that green felt for our green screen behind, and every now and again during the video, my face kind of disappeared because the green screen never picked it up properly. But yeah, it's been a great journey, and now to get to this stage, and I think you start off with whatever you can get your hands on, and then as you go along, you start realizing, as you said, Bryan, hold on, the sound has got to be better, man. That humming of the aircon, let's turn that thing off, and it's trial and error because there's no playbook that says, okay, make sure this is right, and even if there is one, that's not much fun.
No, it's not. the journey is the fun part. Let's be honest. It's sort of finding those things out for yourself. The few people that have contacted me have said, can they even come? They'll rent the studio. They'll rent our stuff. I said, you're sort of doing yourself a major disservice if you do that. You have to kind of go through it, see what it's all about. Playing around. I mean, I'm using a MacBook Pro. It's running GarageBand. GarageBand comes free on a MacBook Pro. It's easy. You plug it in. There is nothing that you can't find on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can find out how to start a podcast from start to finish. I think you could probably find out how to start a Hollywood movie on YouTube. So there's a huge amount of information out there, and you've got to go out and find that information, see what the best sort of stuff for you is to use. I mean, these microphones as well, you've got to be careful it must be the right type of mic for what it's for. Now, these are sort of omnidirectional mics.
Mine is slightly different.
Got both options.
It's got both options, so it can just focus on my voice, or I can turn it open that I can listen to all three of us can speak into this mic, and it is so effective that you pick everything up. You don't lose a thing.
What's nice with the setup that we have, obviously the one extra boom here would not make sense, so it works quite nicely for us. The coolest part about this studio, though, for me, is this table, because this was a horrible old wooden table.
Yeah, ugly brown color.
And we had it, wood and aviation do not go. They don't mix.
In the 1930s.
They don't go. They don't go. So this is wood underneath, but we got it wrapped by Sharpline.
Yeah, Sharpline is a great company. They have done the Bryan Air posters, logos, design, printing, green screens. I mean, they have done exceptional work, really.
They wrap this beautifully for us, and it works really well. Other than that, the soundproofing behind Ryan, we got that off Bid or Buy, I think.
Yeah, I also ordered off one of those online shopping sites. Arrived within 2 or 3 days. Wasn't all that expensive. I mean,
it is quite expensive we've looked at soundproofing the entire room.
Yeah.
Look, the issue we have here, obviously, with the simulators outside, the simulators make a lot of noise, but the soundproofing doesn't actually stop that sound coming in. It just warms the sound internally on the inside. So soundproofing for us wouldn't make a huge difference.
But I think that's something we've had to learn as we've come along. We had visions at one stage of trying to cover a whole room in this stuff. And then we quickly realized, well, that's actually not going to work entirely. What's actually required is a good quality microphone, which we saw made all the difference, as well as the software that you downloaded, because you had some add-ons that you put on the GarageBand.
Yeah, there's a few little add-ons you can buy for software plugins and that. But very, very basic. And like I say, you can check it out on YouTube. Other than that, in the studio, we've got the ring light there as well, which you can, we've had to fiddle with that with warm and sort of the brighter, sort of more icy white. At one stage, we looked very red on the camera, didn't we?
We've gone through every color of the sun.
You were grey at one point.
I was grey as anything. I looked at that, I actually thought I was dying. I was convinced I was dying. I must be, because the camera's seeing something I'm not seeing in the mirror. So the lighting is critical to just change that slight hue, take away that redness, take away the greyness, which is great, and it doesn't need to be direct. Ours is
it's sort of bouncing
off the wall as well, which is good. And then we got the great LED lights around, just for a little bit of
just to add something else from the entertainment value. But the colours, I think, work nice. Obviously, you can change those colours as we go. We might change them up at some point, but these kind of are our colours: the green, the blue, grey, and the black.
Yeah. Look, you guys needed the lights. I mean, fortunately, in my case, Natural Beauty took care of the camera and the angles and the colours and everything. So, the lights were necessary for you two.
Yeah, you are my reason in belief in UFOs. You're a walking grey.
I'm not even going to respond to that with a comment.
Because what's a podcast without a funny guy?
Yeah, exactly. And then on this side, which you can't see, we've got a nice big green screen that we use for training, webinars, things like that. And we're pushing out a lot of online content for SimAero right now. It's working really well. So the studio covers sort of both angles. But when the people started asking, can they rent out our studio, I felt I'm more protective of this than I am of my car. So no, you cannot rent out the studio.
And is there anything to do with the fact that you don't want them to think or realize how maybe the unprofessional little bits and pieces, such as our green wonder tape?
Yeah, what Brett's talking about there is obviously these microphones pick up so much more noise than what you think. So the air conditioning outside creates a sort of vacuum effect here, which we sort out by, and Brett, you must understand this, and in the aviation world, if something is broken, you fix it with duct tape. So
in every part of the world, you fix things with duct tape.
We've got duct tape strapped around the door to stop that wind noise coming through, but it's working. Look, we can
perfectly.
We can spend a bit more and improve on the equipment. There's no doubt. I mean, those Shure microphones you see on the Rogan podcast and stuff like that, they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
But now you're talking proper money for it, and this for us is working right now.
I think it's like with anything. If you're going to start out doing something, and especially if you're new at this and you basically want to test the waters, don't go out and just buy the most expensive equipment. How many guys make that mistake usually with all sorts of things, and then realize, no, this is not working. You've wasted. It's all about trial and error. Try this, see if it doesn't work, see what does, and grow from there and enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this lone little mascot of ours on the table.
Didn't you steal it from somewhere?
Yeah, from my previous employer. It's sitting there. It sat there since the very beginning.
Yeah.
And,
it's about the one thing that hasn't changed, apart from getting the bottom wrapped.
We had a wrap. There was wood there. Got rid of the wood. Yeah, all in all, podcasting is great fun. We've really got a kick out of this process. So if you want to start out, and you want to contact us and ask any questions, please don't hesitate to do so.
And always remember, however, if you're running a podcast studio, one of the most critical things are batteries for the little light which is dying horrible death.
Slow death.
We've been meaning to change those batteries for the last 3 months.
Yeah, easy.
That's just from typo, but I think it adds a cool little element.
It's a little bit of fun.
Yeah, it's our own.
A lot of fun.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Ciao.
Cheers.